Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again. I just wanted to share a really quick video. I don't know how long this one will take. It's probably going to be really short, but my really awesome brother sent me something in the mail the other day, which I've been waiting to try out for a really long time. But yeah, some other projects are always in the way. A little bit of attention deficit, as I always say. But here we are. Let me show you the frame. This is, if you can see it clearly, it is Warlord Games Epic Civil War regiment, about 10 millimeter. You can see they're all regimented up. There's a bunch of infantry and a cannon on this frame. What I wanted to do was I would really like to work on this a little bit. First is really basing it for painting. There's several different ways you can do this. This is actually one that my brother kind of showed me a long time ago, and I've just kind of kept doing it. I haven't done 10 millimeter miniatures in, oh my gosh, it's probably been about 5 years. So this is one of the first, but these are really excellent detail. It's kind of weird they're all in Union blue, but there's a really weird mix of kepi and slouch hats. I don't know, if the real Union regiments, had that mix or as big of a mix. It kind of does look more like it would be rebel, Confederate sort of, mixed match of equipment. But that's okay. Well, I guess you can paint these guys either way, even though it's super blue. To me, that indicates Union, but that's just traditional me. So let's cut one of these off the base. I think I'm only going to do two just to give you an idea of what's going on. Most of this I can do off camera, but would love just to show you a little bit. Same kind of thing with, that I do from regular miniature assembly. And make sure you trim off the extra from the sprue gates and a little bit of backwards knife, just to take off a little bit of that where you can see the seams, where the mold comes together. This one really isn't too bad. That cleaned up pretty nicely just from the clipper itself. Now, if you look at my tabletop, there's some popsicle sticks, and you can barely see the tacky glue sitting here. This old tacky glue. Really, to paint these ones, I find it's kind of easier just to put them on this. You can leave them on the sprue and paint too, and then clip them off if you'd like. It's however you really feel more comfortable painting. There really isn't any right way. It's based on your preferences. All right, tacky glue. Let's come out of that bottle. That sounds kind of weird. It's kind of like a Pokemon. I choose you. This isn't really, how it works, but like all good tacky glue, it is slow to come out. All right, I'm going to give you a Heinz ketchup commercial here, too, in a second if I'm not careful. So, that one's a little warped. I'm not going to use that, but that one's pretty straight. The nice thing about the tacky glue, they will trim right off of that base once I prime and get them painted. I'm going to put a second row on. I'm just going to keep them similar like regular infantry line. This, it's not a whole lot difference between each of these. As you can, if you look carefully, you can see, whatever that guy would be, whatever officer he would be on his horse. There's, the cannon, as I said, the two wheels, and then the actual cannon itself. And then you got the command strip, with the drummer, the banners, and the officer. But other than that, they really are very similar looking across every one. So let's clean this one up. And I'll tell you what, since I bought that little more expensive clippers here, I really do like how close it does get. It gets quite a bit closer than the trimmers I bought at Walmart that I've used forever. You can see a little bit more of an edge on the top of these guys. The hats. Doesn't really take much to clean them up. And looking at it, I don't see major seams. A little bit here and there. Then again, just a little bit of glue on the bottom. Doesn't take much. Put those on and we'll set them aside. We're going to let that dry before I do the priming. I'm going to use the brush on primer for these two if you're interested in seeing more of that. I think I'm just going to prime them and I'll skip my next video with these guys. I'll just start painting. The priming and drawing of this really does take a little bit too long, and for video content. So that's all I'm going to do tonight. A whopping 6-minute video. Thank you for listening to my babbling, and I hope you enjoyed that. I'm really looking forward to working on these more. I'll work on mounting putting together the cannon and painting it. As you can see, the gates are shoulders at bottom of the bottom of the stands. So really, there isn't any reason not to try to paint them on here. Once you painted it, you'd have to cut a little bit, off the sides and touch up the shoulders a little bit. But it's very doable. It's just not, how I normally do it. Actually, maybe I'll do a little bit of each. I'll try, do this one here and then, prime a couple on to sprue. That way, get a good idea of how it feels for both. Yeah, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you again for listening and attending. That's kind of weird. Now I feel like I'm in my job. Hi, thanks for attending my meeting. So I really appreciate the time. Bye.